good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, we welcome back the W.A.R.T Series. And we're going to talk about friends. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a while since we've done one of these. And part of the reason why I stopped doing these was because of a friend who isn't a friend anymore. It was inferred that these shows were a little bit too heavy for people and that they couldn't deal with them. And I took that to heart and thought, hang on a minute, maybe I am overloading people here. Maybe this is too much. So I stopped. As it turned out, quite a few months after this went down, I realized the person who told me that wasn't a friend anymore. Perhaps they weren't ever. So it's time to bring back something that I used to enjoy doing, and I know many other people told me they enjoyed as well. So hopefully we'll all get something out of this today, because what is the definition of friends? Hi, I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS. Originally, the definition of friends, dictionaries have them defined. You know, there's several dictionaries, so you can look them up and you'll see things like a person who you like and enjoy being with. Say, for example, I'd like you to meet my friend. Someone you're proud to announce as somebody close to you, somebody you care about, somebody that you share a common bond with. A person who is on good terms with another. There's another definition. A person who isn't hostile. A person you trust, you rely on, you care for, you love, you help, listen to, and want to be around, and vice versa. It comes back to it's reciprocal. Exclusively, yeah? You can't, the world of randomness that we live in, where you can't put your finger on what's going to happen tomorrow. You can't always be the one who's giving or taking. And absolutely, and I'm going to be talking to you guys today too, because it's important to know what you guys think is important from a friend. True friends, you can laugh and argue with. Friends, you can let them down. Speaking of Kev there. But you can talk about it. You can talk about things. You can be open with friends, yeah? You can say exactly how you feel. And normally you don't have to sugarcoat things. You don't need a preamble. And normally good friends already know what you're going to say to them. Not always, yeah? So a person who helps support someone or something. Even a friend can be a friend to an organization, a charity, a group of people. So there's quite a few definitions of friendship, yeah? You can be a friend to the environment. You can care for your surroundings. You can plant trees. You can do all these things. I know I'm starting to get a bit tree huggy, but absolutely, why not? There's sentient beings care for animals. Animals can be friends. Your pets. Maybe not a wild bear. Maybe not. Maybe that's an enemy. You can be a foe at the same time as a friend, you know. The relationships change. That's a thing. So, what I've been describing for friends at the moment have all been nouns. That's the noun of the friend. Shall we talk about the verb? Maybe. Because friends have changed. The definition of friends have changed for many people. To add somebody to a list of friends or contacts on a social networking site. I've been friended by 29 people. I've got friends. Friends! I'm popular. Are they really friends, though? Has social media taken the word friend and kind of fucked it up? Are these people actually friends, or are they just contacts, acquaintances? Can you count on these friends when you need a hand? Who are these people? Do they care what you do? Do you care what they do? Do you care about their views? Their politics? Or are they annoying? And do you have a whole heap of them on your social media pages that you scroll by every day and go, and don't really pay attention to? And do they do the same to you? Are they annoying like these people? Do they, when you do a post, they like message underneath your post and say, but I don't like iPhones. I like Androids. Every time you write something about something you like, they contradict it and say, but I think that's shit. When you're not really asking for their opinion. Are they always taking way too many selfies? And you get sick of seeing their stupid duck-faced lips peering at you as you scroll through. Do they give a shit about your music that you post when you release something? And they're like absolutely clueless. Like this dude here. Is he the dumb one in Friends? I don't know. I've never watched it. I don't know. I'm totally oblivious to Friends. I kind of think they're all stupid, really. I'm going to ask you guys now. What does friendship mean to you? What does friendship mean to you? Put it in the chat. Let me know what you think friendship is to you personally. Not a Webster dictionary meaning. Not anything like that. Not some idea somebody else has written. Tell me, because I want to hear from your brain what you think. Yeah? What do you think friend means? So feel free to write in the chat what you think a friend is. What do you value about friendship? Let me just do this. Whee! What you'll find interesting today is the music that I'm controlling here using Zoa is being made with the Facebook logo. How cool is that? It's probably the best thing I've ever made using the Facebook logo. Absolutely brilliant. Mark Bro says, 45 years old, working in public service, have shown me that most people aren't worth the trouble and basically ruined my social human relationship. Well, I knew this was coming. Kev Hart says, I delete fuckers at the drop of a hat. Faced with tears of joy. Oh, another opportunistic wanker. Cheerio, bin lid. Charming. Always charming, Kev. Rock Hard Music says, a friend can give mutual support. Deep Gravity. I hardly use social media, but I will admit all comments I've ever received from friends have always been positive and not opinionated. Ivan Idea doesn't even have social media. He doesn't even have social media. How amazing is that? How freeing is that? Thomas Christ says, I don't get wrapped up in it. To be honest, it's just a tool in my opinion. Joe Glenn says, I never watched Friends. Well, neither did I. Mark EFX says, I removed both my Facebook accounts about 2 years ago. Well done. Well done. I still have my Facebook account. Why? Because these days I mostly use it for promoting my shows, I guess. Even though most of the people on my Facebook don't even pay attention to any of that stuff. Gregory O'Sullivan, people you have shared experiences with that actually give a fuck about you. Absolutely. Tom's Christ, a friend, someone you can trust and count on. Sympathy and confidence from Pain to Get. Still got the sound effects, baby. Black Cover says, I have 3 true friends, all met in grammar school. So I'm sure you would have heard the saying too. This brings up a good point, which was in my brain list of things. So forgive me, folks, I'm running off the top of my head today. So, if you can, you've all probably heard this saying, if you can count 5 friends on one hand. Right now. You're doing better than a lot of people. 5 friends that you absolutely trust with your life. You are killing it, man. You are killing it. Joe Glenn says, I have to say I have no close friends. Guess I moved around too much. Then there was work and kids and now. Yeah, absolutely. I've missed Russ. Did I get half of Russ? I've got half of Russ here. I'll come back to Russ. Kim Harden Hudson says, I think I'm still trying to figure that out. I was a terrible friend for most of my life and in turn had terrible friends. Now I don't really have in real life friends and it's partially my fault. I absolutely feel your pain. We have traveled a very similar road, Kim. I was an asshole for a long time. I had so many friends around me, but I guess I didn't know how to communicate back then. I had a completely different mindset of life and it was lost in my own bullshit. True friends never give up on you, says Fam. And Joe's only close friend, oh, is Barry. How sweet. Lady Rodeline, hello. It says, someone who is there for you as much as you are. To cry, laugh, commiserate. Someone you might not talk to for a while, but when you get together, you can pick up exactly where you left. That is someone who I regard as an amazing friend. I have a number of those who I've known for many years through my music career. One of them will be coming on the show for an interview next month. We played in a band, and through all the shit that has gone on in our lives, every few days we just pick up a conversation, and it's like it's just been a continued conversation for so many years. Hi, Jim Shannon. Russ says, I'm the best friend you'll ever have till you fuck me. So, the lesson there, folks, is don't have sex with Russ. He's like a praying mantis. When you finish having sex with him, he'll eat your head off. You'll be dead. Not now, Peppy. It's a serious show. Sith Vasquez says, friends to me are people that I can trust to have a conversation in an open-minded way. Yeah. Yeah. Auntie G, sometimes I feel like I have a lot of friends and sometimes I feel I do not have a single one. Does that make any sense? Absolutely. Totally makes sense. It's interesting what social media has done to people. I have a pretty big list of friends, and part of the reason I wanted to do this today is I need to cull some of those friends, and we'll get to that. And it's just been incredible, like how many of my friends last year took their own lives on Facebook. And I know there are some conspiracy theorists out there who will be like, it's because of the lockdowns, it's because of the COVID or whatever it is. And unfortunately, it's not anything new. I have a lot of trans people on my friends list. So it's always been that way. It's not like something just changed. Which is horrible. It's Zelinsky. I use Facebook, Instagram, whatever, but only for specific purposes. I ignore posts from all the happy, pretty people with their smiles and perfect lives. Do they have perfect lives, though? Do they? I tend to not think so. I mean, that's the thing now. It seems like a lot of people are creating these perfect lives behind a monitor in fear of what their friends will judge them over. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's become this this need to portray the perfect life, which is absolutely impossible. Because perfection doesn't exist. We all fail. We all let each other down, and we all do our best to make up for the things we fuck up. Well, not everyone, I guess. Jim says, my wife is the only friend I need. Awesome. I want to talk about this. So I want to talk about social media friends. We'll come back. Now I've got a poll up there, and this is what I want to talk about. I can't remember what's the poll over. I can't even remember where is it? Do you have a bunch of friends on your social media networks that you maybe should remove? And I do. And I'll tell you what. Pretty much 100% of them aren't from these communities, this music community, the Facebook community groups, the YouTube community. They're definitely not from these groups. For me, I have a lot of trans people who follow me, yeah? And I share no other interests with them. Nothing. Except they have sought me out because I'm trans and added me. And that's it. And there's I went through last night, painstakingly and had a look through the list. And I believe there's about 600 people I can cull with no problem, and they won't miss me and I won't miss them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because if you're only sharing an interest in just because you're sharing the experience of being transgender, like, I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck that you're going through it, but like, there's no real connection. Like, I feel, I don't know any of these people, and I feel like I haven't gone out of my way to add them. They have all added me, and I've stupidly let my guard down and let a whole bunch of people on that I don't really need. So, letting go of people, right? Do you guys struggle letting go of people who you may find toxic, who you had as friends, but they over time have become quite horrible, and a lot of the stuff they write is quite mean. And how do you go about removing them? Yeah? How do you go about removing them? Do you struggle removing them? Do you tell them? Do you let them know? Because there's a whole bunch of different ways I see people do this. They either put a post up and say, I'm cleaning out all of my friends. I've decided it's time for a clean out. If you would like to stay on my list, leave a comment below so I can keep you on the list. Have you done that? Has anyone here done that? Announced that they're going to remove friends from their list? And how's that gone for you? From my experience and from seeing others do it, I think I always see a whole bunch of people, because I've done it a couple of times. I'll never do it again, ever. Every time I've done it those 2 times, a whole bunch of people who I've never met before, have no idea who they are, or were leaving comments like, please don't remove me. I hope you're going to keep me. And I'm like, I don't even fucking know you. Who are you? Where did you come from? And then I go and look at my relationship with them, and they've been on my friends list for 6 years. I'm like, What? So I have a really close friend who I love very dearly, but she has a lot of friends on her list who shit on every one of her posts. I want to know, guys, give me a yes or no. Have you experienced this? Somebody on your list, every time you write something, I like this. They write, it's shit. But I like this. I don't like it. Here's a song that I like. I hate this song. So one of my friends, I love her so much, but she has a whole lot of these kind of people. Where she posts a song, she'll be like, I love this song by Roy Orbison. And then all of a sudden, someone posts underneath it, I hate that song. It's the worst song ever. And I will see her talk to them and say, why don't you like this song? And I just think, why are you... Why are you arguing with it? Why are you trying to find out why this person doesn't like this song? Fucking delete them. And don't even like engage, because and clearly it's just something that it's not that they're a horrible person either. It's just it's become I don't know if it's just a trigger, a triggered response. That's how they've become on the internet. They see something, and instead of finding the positive or supporting somebody, they have to just go, I don't like that. I don't like that. They've always got to have that negative opinion. And every time she tells them, I'm going to remove you, they end up going into a private message and having this huge argument. And then before long, she's messaging me going, I've had this big fight with this person. And I'll be like, do you know them? No, I've never met them in my life. How many conversations have you had with them? 2. I'm like, then why the fuck are you arguing with them? Why are you considering this? And I see Dan Ackbird says here, hi Dan, I've never experienced that. I stay away from politics on Twitter. But I'm not saying politics, I'm saying just the simplest thing of, I like oranges. There are some people out there who will go out of their way to say, but I hate oranges. I don't like the colour. Right? Because the politics stuff is horrible anyway. I'm trying not to go down that path today. So look, I think it's really healthy to just let go of people and not tell them. I don't think it's healthy to make an announcement, because it's almost like the people that you are going to let go almost want that. Yeah? They want something to argue about. You know, because there is a lot of arguing on social media these days, which is quite terrifying. When was the last time you guys cleaned out your friends list? Because I haven't done mine for a while. And I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do a big clean out. And the main reason is because, as I said, a lot of people don't interact from a certain community that are attached to my Facebook page. I unfortunately have a lot of people who want to post photos of them in frilly knickers. And I don't give a fuck about somebody wearing a pair of fucking knickers. It just is what it is. All right, let's talk about this. I thought we weren't going to talk about this deep gravity. I thought we weren't going to talk about this, but now you've brought it to the light. Hi, Sai. Have you ever experienced that? I know me, where you've added somebody as a friend on social media, and I'm sure mainly women are going to have dealt with this. Have you ever added somebody on social media who sent you a friend request, and then they sent you a dick pic? You know? Has that ever happened to you? Big old dick pic. I can't tell you how many times that has happened to me. It's ridiculous. Be thankful. Be thankful, Jim Shannon on Sounds. But it's a thing. Ivan Idea says, I want a dick pic. So if there's anybody here who... But Ivan doesn't have social media, so... There you go. Lucky you. Do you find yourself... have any of you found yourself in this position? The old loving to hate posts. Where you've kept somebody on your friends list who you know is toxic. You don't agree with their stuff, but you've known them for so long. You've known them for so long, and you don't want to remove them. You have history with them, but they just keep posting this really dangerous, weird crap. And it gets to, I'm guilty of it. I'm just going to admit, there are some people I've kept from my past on my Facebook, on my friends list, and they post some stuff which I so don't agree with. Absolutely don't agree with. And it's got to the point now where I actually love to hate reading their posts. And just curse under my breath, go, oh, fucking hell. What the fuck are you typing? What is this nonsense? You know what I'm saying? So, there are ways to control your social media friends list. This is the one thing which I've been doing for a really long time. I don't know if a lot of people notice this too, like on things like Facebook. You can actually go in and select, I think it's up to 80 people as favorites. So when you open your Facebook, if you use Facebook, every time you open it, your timeline will only be filled with those people at the top of your timeline. So you scroll and see all those most important people in amongst some ads. And then you'll start, once you get through those each day, you'll actually get to a point where you start not seeing people. It's great for contact lists that have a lot of people. So. Because it does seem like we've got to a place where friendship has changed, yeah? Friendship, thanks to social media, I think people look at it like a number, like a social status these days. Like how many friends they have, how many followers they have, that it's more of a social status and they don't actually really care. There's a large percentage of people out there that look at it like that. Especially on Facebook. And you've got to like question, what do people get from that? You know? Absolutely, Jim Shannon. It's a cool thing to check out. And you know one of the reasons a lot of people don't know about it, the favorites thing. It's because Facebook actually don't want you to know about it, right? They don't want you to know about the ways to enact your friends list and your feed to benefit you, to make you engage and feel good about it. They actually want you to feel anxious and confused. That's why they change the look of their page all the time and move buttons around. They want you to stay anxious. I mean, what's really hard is here we've been conditioned now to look at social media and the people within it as friends, but at the same time, companies like Facebook have ran and been busted altering the timelines and putting only negative stuff in our timelines and trying to gauge the reaction we get. Yeah. So it makes it incredibly hard to really secure a good selection of friends on Facebook, because everything about social media is working against us, you know, because the goal is to collect our information and make money from us. That's the problem. Well, I have to say, the experience I've had here on YouTube compared to Facebook and Twitter, because I'm banned from Twitter. I'll tell you what, the best thing that's ever happened to me was getting banned from Twitter. Absolutely. Best thing that ever happened to me. But I find here over on YouTube, it's completely different. I think, I don't know why. Yeah? Is it the fact that we can't message each other? That we can only leave comments publicly to each other? I don't know. Why do you think that... do you agree with me that Facebook, that YouTube seems to be a better place to actually interact with people, even though there's less avenues within YouTube to actually interact with friends? Yeah, so you can't personal message, you can only leave open public comments to people, and you can only, really watch videos and see what people have got to say through this medium, through this moment in time. What bothers me, says Jim, is I have a friend that is a bit of a groupie, and I get all these friends that keep sending me friend requests. Yeah. Yeah. There's Discord. Look, a lot of them are much of the same, You get the same. When I move across all my social media programs, I tend to have all the same people. Like, if I have you here in this chat on my Facebook, most likely I follow you on Instagram as well. It's interesting these days that because everything's so connected, if I add somebody on Facebook, normally I get a message on Instagram saying, your friend you just added on Facebook is on Instagram. Doesn't always work, but yeah, I tend to use Thomas here likes good old. My name's Thomas Christ, and I like good old-fashioned email, like the old days with the horse and cart. Back when we used to shit in a hole, back in the day, we used to brush our teeth with dirt. That didn't happen. Tremor Bear says, I grew up without Facebook, and when I got it, it never made sense. There are people that you have not any type of contact life without Facebook is neutral. It's interesting too, like before Facebook was MySpace, yeah? And I miss MySpace so much. I have to admit it, I miss MySpace because people were on your friends list, but you connected with people on MySpace through music. Through the music. That was the number one driver on MySpace. And I found the quality of people I actually had back then in 2006, I think I joined MySpace, was awesome. I was constantly I remember MySpace, I was constantly moving around my top friends and showing them off. And there was actual interaction. And it was not just interaction of how are you? Or typing your political agendas or your religious beliefs, or if you think the virus is fake or not. It was here's my favorite band. And the connection was real. And when my Facebook came along, it took all the things that were really good about MySpace, about the crazy colors and flashing GIFs and all the stupidity and how some pages were ugly and garish, and it made everyone's page look the same. That's what Facebook has done. When you open Facebook, everything looks the same. Every page. Here's my page. Look, it looks exactly the same as yours. It's all the same colors. There's no difference. It's turned us all into homogenized entities, yeah? And I think at the same time why people are so desperate to create fictitious lives or have very strong opinions or try and convert people to their belief systems is because the pages are so bland. The only way for you to create a personality about yourself is to just put photos of your dinner, you know, and have outrageous comments and very rarely, like there's no, even when you create a band or a musician's page, yeah? Like remember MySpace where you could go, if you create a musician's page, sorry, I have a few of them. Oh, fuck off, Love Face XYZ. Man, why am I getting so many? These people aren't friends, they're bots. But even like this is my music page, and it's so boring. It's so boring, where MySpace was utterly different, yeah? And yeah, I know, Sith, you just post memes. Absolutely, it's the safest way to go. So, the last thing I want to talk about today before shutting this down, and you know, hey, if you want to continue the discussion, leave comments on this video at the end of it. I'm not trying to be heavy, I'm just trying to just put this stuff out there. Just throw it out into the universe. Because you know what? I need to hear this shit myself. I'm not trying to preach to any of you guys. I need to hear this shit out of my own mouth so I can realign myself and make sure I'm going down the right path. That I hopefully am doing my best to realign my relationships with people, to improve the way I interact on social media, to try now to go and cut some of the negative shit that is on my Facebook and try and make it a bit less of a toxic thing because I've let it get toxic. And because when you say this stuff out loud, sometimes it actually sticks and you actually hear it instead of just bottling it up. So that's what these shows are about. It's not to preach to you guys, but just to talk about it because it's good to talk about shit, yeah? Sai says, I kept my Facebook profile empty of content. Only really on the site for my band page and all the running groups that I'm involved in. Yeah. I think even Sai went to the point where recently he just deleted all of his posts on Facebook and just has a blank page now. Yeah, Dan. Look, I could have brought that up. Guys, if you want to experience MySpace, there is a MySpace alternative these days, yeah? It's called Space Hey. Let me do this so I can log in. There we go. Did I log in? There we go. Look at this. MySpace does exist. Yeah? Look, it's back. I only have 52 friends and I like that. I like that. And here's what I'm saying about the difference between MySpace and Facebook. When I look at my page, the profile page, it doesn't look like Facebook. It actually has personality. It actually has personality. And I can put my music on there if I please allow embeds. You can link your YouTube videos to it. And look at all the people on my list. They're all musicians. And this thing's actually growing too. There's well over 1 million people on there, I think. So there's an alternative. And a lot of musicians on here. So definitely worth looking into if the other social media stuff is getting to you. All right. The last thing I want to cover. Did I finish what I was trying to say earlier? Friends in real life. I want to tell you a story. So last year, I had some friends in my life who I thought were friends. And they weren't. Right? They weren't. And I had to cut them out of my life. I had to put my foot down and say, you know what? No thanks. I don't even want to engage with you anymore. So I made the decision to just cut off all contact. And it was really hard too, because I actually actually really wanted the friend. I didn't want the friendship to go down the path it did. But unfortunately, they were cunts. And it is what it is. And I'll tell you what, it's been really hard, but it's been the best decision I made last year, was to cut that piece of toxicity out of my life. And, you know, it's really hard sometimes with people who you befriend and share yourself with them, and think that it's a growing friendship, and then it gets thrown back in your face. Like, they've thrown everything you've shared with and thrown it back in your face like shit. And I tell you what, you can fight them, and you can, like, you know, carry on having a big war. But what I learned last year was one of the best lessons last year was just to absolutely walk away, block all contact, and just move on, because probably would still be going now, and it would probably affect so many things around me. And I'm so glad that I made that decision. So don't be afraid to cut people out, yeah, when that happens. Russ likes war. Why am I not surprised by that? Oh dear. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this today. I'm going to do another one of these. Let's close the poll. I'm curious. What was the poll today? I can't remember what the poll was. The poll was, do you have friends that you might have... Do you have a bunch of friends on your social media networks that you maybe should remove? Yes, 57%. No, 42%. So more of you have people on your list that you should remove. Well, good luck. I hope you got some time to maybe remove some of them, and free your mind up a little bit. And remember too, there may be some people on that list that you might want to remove, but there may be something worth salvaging too, if you've had a fairly long relationship with. All right, so we're going to do this W.A.R.T series at the end of each month instead of an interview. And the next one we'll be doing at the end of February will be about risk and danger. Yeah, about creativity and taking risks and being dangerous. Putting yourself out there. So the last thing I want to talk about before we close off . Do you guys get affected when you post a link to your music on a social media page and none of your friends click on it? How does it make you feel? It used to affect me doing that, yeah. I used to post all my music on my personal Facebook page and never get any response from people who I've loved for ages. And it used to tear my heart apart. And these days, I don't give a fuck. I've learned to not give a fuck. I still share it, but I share it for myself now, just to share it. I'm not seeking to become a millionaire or super popular, or I don't want to shove it down people's throats, but I put it out there as an offering. And if people click it, they do. And if they don't, they don't. And it doesn't bother me. But it can smash you around a bit if you let it. I'm just really glad that we have places like we have here on YouTube and some really specific groups on Facebook and such, because I know in those groups people do listen to it. And again, if they don't, they don't. But I always do my best to try and listen to other people's music as well, because it's a two-way street, friendship. And sometimes you're not going to be driving on the same side of the road. You're not going to be going both driving with the same objective in mind. But as hopefully you can come to the intersection and bring it back together, yeah? All right, guys. We got something special following today's show. If you, please post a link. So once this show concludes over on Cy Effen's channel, on the No MS channel, I think it is, and there's a link in the description. Cy is premiering his brand new track. So please, folks, go over and check it out. I'll be there. He's put a lot of work into this video clip, a new single, so head over there and check that out. And I think in an hour's time from now, me and Pete Johns are appearing on Mike Enjo's Creative Source, taking a listen to people's mixes and offering advice, called Fix in the Mix or something like that. So yeah. I want to thank all of you for supporting me on this channel and being my friend. It's greatly appreciated. And let's hope 2022 is a really good year for all of us and all of our friendships endure. Yeah? Thank you very much. I'll see you on the weekend when I'm doing an 80s cover set. Thanks for being here. And remember, we all rise together. See you later.